page 120, Ray quotes, "I could count a whole day and never get to the stopping place of numbers. An eternity was like that, longer than all the grains of sand on all the beaches of the world." Ray shows how she overcomes her fears and panics through the use of advanced diction in her writing style. These actually show how she coped with much of the early life and how the struggles she had to deal with. The forest acts as a sound, safe object that Ray can always rely on to. On page 242, she describes the fog as a garden made of both stone and imagination. The diction she uses shows the importance of it and how that she weighs on it in order for it to reflect back onto her. While it is fog, it also has a reflective property like a mirror, which is important to her development. The forest raises her almost like a parental figure. It also described as alive. Ray describes, "At one end of the pond a red maple grew. Although I did not know the name of it then, I only knew it was as red-veined as any human, and that its leaves flung sheer gold in the fall." It's described as beautifully. Ray's life was strongly influenced by a variety of biotic factors. Some of these factors included the longleaf pines, which she loves, animals she's helped, her family, the neighbors, which will pass both judgment and negative and be helpful to her, and the people she interacts with, showing how she develops as a person throughout her lifetime. Some abiotic factors that heavily influenced in her life were the forest fires, which reset everything, the thunderstorms, which she fears and loves, the junkyard, and the bright night sky. One of the most important quotes on page 236 is, "From the tumulation marriage of the rivers, the calm affirmation was born," and it shows how calmness can come from these abiotic factors. Both the biotic factors and the abiotic factors come together to ensure that they both rely on each other and have an important role on each other. Ray is strongly benefited from this and how the ecosystem survives. Also, much of her wild brethren also survive on this, such as the salamanders and the rocks and the plants being fertilized by the fire. Some abiotic factors that heavily determine my own personal ecology are my home, which I live in, and it's what determines my filter and how I interact with the world. Also, the internet, which allows me to connect to people and find constant knowledge, and also technology, which makes my life easier. Some biotic factors that determine my life are the peers, which I both have here in America, and the peers I have around the world. They are what strive me to become the greatest figure I can of myself, and my parents, which also are just as important to me, as they push me to always do better than I possibly could imagine for myself. Both of these abiotic and abiotic factors have allowed me to form my own opinion by not pressuring me too much, but still pushing me to succeed. This is what I believe strongly determines my personality. And in time, I believe it's what's going to make me a great person in life, or terrible, 50-50. It's extremely important to how a person survives and is formed. I have to say throughout my life, it's extremely important that these abiotic and biotic factors and all these other important things that determine my personal ecology are what make me want to strive for great things in life. Although I might find myself to be an ant trying to ascend to godhood, it's extremely important that it's how individuals create it from their own personal ecology.